We have some breaking news. This just in within the last half hour. An Internal Revenue Service official told Congress today that he told the Treasury Department of the probe into the IRS targeting of conservative groups before the November 2012 election. Sounds like bad news for the White House. We'll have that and more right here, right now on the News Hub. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Simon Constable. Damian Paletta joins me now from Washington, D.C. Damian, this scandal just seems to keep on giving. And if you're on the receiving end of it, that does not look good, does it?
No, not at all. I mean, the plot is thickening today, definitely. The Treasury Department Inspector General for Taxes told Congress that he informed the Deputy Treasury Secretary, Neil Wolin, sometime around or after June of 2012, that he had launched this investigation into whether conservative groups were being targeted. Now, he didn't give Wolin the findings of his investigation. His investigation had, quite frankly, just begun, but he told them, and Wolin's a senior administration official, that he was looking into these allegations, and so that, Treasury knew that these allegations were on the table. Now, we don't know what Wolin did with this information. We don't know whether he passed it along to other Treasury officials or even whether he talked to the IRS about it. That's why there's more questions and answers right now. But, the White House has been trying to kind of firewall this crisis and say it was isolated at the IRS and at the Inspector General's office. And now we know that at least someone at Treasury was aware in June 2012 that this investigation had begun.
Now, presumably, conservative politicians, as well as these conservative groups, are going to be somewhat outraged about this, that it was known the Treasury is part of the administration, right? So that would look pretty bad.
Well, that's the big question. So Wolin's going to testify next week, so we'll obviously have more chance to hear what he has to say, as will Treasury Secretary Lew. Now, the thorny question here is, what should Wolin have done? Is it improper for him to get involved with the IRS if there's something under, investigation, possibly criminal investigation? Is he allowed to kind of poke around and find out what's going on? Should he be looping in the White House, or should the White House have to stay out of this? We'll have to wait to see what Treasury says. But right now, Treasury's definitely in the position where they're going to have to answer some questions about what Wolin knew, what he had to do, and what he decided to do, and what they're going to do from here on out.
And so one of the other questions I guess we've all got is why wasn't it made public? I mean, whether an organization gets special tax status is critically important, especially during an election year. Why wasn't such a thing made public?
Well, that's a great question, and I think they're trying to get to the bottom of that. One of the things that's interesting to read in the Inspector General's timeline is that they had this, policy that targeted the Tea Party and other conservative groups in place. Then they stopped it because, higher-ups told them that it was improper, and then they started it again. So, the timeline's kind of confusing, but the kind of stop and start nature of this whole thing is also one of the things they're trying to get to the bottom of.
Okay, we will find out. Thank you very much, Damian Paletta of the Wall Street Journal. We appreciate your time, and check out more of that story, which has just broken within the last half hour or so on WSJ.com.